Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Wednesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Lakers continued their home stance on yesterday after taking a day off after breaking that 4-game losing skid the other night and actually bouncing back with a victory. They were seeking to get a second victory in a row, taking on none other than the Toronto Raptors at Crypto.com on yesterday. And man, I tell you what, Anthony Davis put on quite a show, and this is the Anthony Davis that we need. If you just look at the raw numbers before we even just get into breaking down the game, and we got a lot to talk about too, as far as some of the things that was said by Darko. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name. The Toronto Raptors head coach, who blatantly said that the Lakers cheated in so many words, which we know he probably will be getting fined for those comments. And we're going to break all that down in just a minute too. But I have to lead today's show by complimenting Anthony Davis, because there's been so many people who've been saying trade AD, but this is the AD that we're waiting on. This is the AD that we need to be consistent. We've seen him do it in stretches. We need to see him continue to do this as LeBron James heads into the sunset of his career. We need to see Anthony Davis become the face of the Los Angeles Lakers, and LeBron James has said he has been more than willing to pass that torch to Anthony Davis, not only verbally, but even on the floor. As you looked at yesterday, LeBron James, who didn't look to come out scoring, that's what I like about LeBron James. He gives the team what they need, whether he feels like tonight I'm going to be a facilitator, but he said some key things in his presser last night when they talked to LeBron James in the locker room. He said, we need AD to win. So not only is he's telling the truth, by the way, because the Lakers without AD aren't that great of a team. But when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis both playing at optimum levels, then they're going to have a chance to win in every game, and they're going to have a chance to win in every series. So he did say that on yesterday. We need AD to win. I think that was a great soundbite. Of course, haters would probably take that and say, look, LeBron said everybody need everybody. This is a team sport, so they all need each other. But more importantly, Anthony Davis, what he brings on the defensive side of the table, the defensive side of the court, as well on the offensive side. And you're talking about Anthony Davis on yesterday, 41 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He was 13 out of 17 from the field, 2 out of 2 from three-point land. So let's pause there for a moment. Anthony Davis from three-point land has been shooting a lot better as of late. You typically used to hold your breath every time you saw him shoot a free throw, but coming into training camp this year, a lot of people said they were impressed with the way Anthony Davis was shooting the ball, because he spent a lot of time in the offseason working on his shot, not just his mid-range, but his 18 to 22 footer as well, as extending out to the three-point land, and he's shooting it with a lot more confidence. And when people are coming to double LeBron, you're seeing AD out at the top of the key even, and you're like, well, hold on. But obviously this is something that they practice. It's just not happened by happenstance, and LeBron James finds him again yet for those points. And when you look at another soundbite that I thought was important that LeBron James said after the game on yesterday too is, when I led the league in assists is when we won the championship. And I think that's going to key on a lot of things. More importantly, maybe a DAngelo Russell trade looming. We're going to talk about that in the next show. I might do a 2-for-1 today, so stay tuned after this show. If you see it in the next up ads, just click on that video so you can get the full breakdown on the DAngelo Russell trade theory by me. And we'll talk about his play as well, because a lot of people think that he doesn't deserve to be traded. I am not one of those people, and I will break that all down in a separate video. But getting back to what I was saying, Anthony Davis, 13 out of 14 from the free throw line, 11 out of 11 in the fourth quarter alone. Now, let me get to this. The Toronto's Raptors coach, Darko, who was complaining about the free throw discrepancy, saying, hey, if the Lakers were supposed to win, just let us know beforehand and we won't even bother showing up. I think it was a shot that he took that will have to be punished, because you can't blatantly say that the game is rigged, and that's what it seems like he was alluding to. But if you take a look at the game, and I watched the game in its entirety, and of course, you know, I am a solid supporter of the LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, and I feel like LeBron James doesn't get a whole lot of calls. And if you look during that stretch, LeBron James didn't even get a free throw in the fourth quarter. But let's break down some of these free throws that were going on in the fourth quarter. You had a flagrant foul. That was 2 free throws. That was 2 of the free throws right there. You had, I think, a defensive 3 seconds. That was 1 of the free throws. Then you had just throughout the course of the fourth quarter, Anthony Davis going hard into the paint to where there was clearly contact, and those were some of the free throws as well. So you can't forget that, you know, these free throws took place because of the Lakers' aggressiveness and their ability to get to the free throw line, whereas the Toronto Raptors were not being as aggressive. And if you watch the film, you will clearly see, and LeBron James said after the game when they asked him about the discrepancy, he said, they fouled and we didn't, you know, and that's part of it. So let's just not forget that portion of it. So at the end of the day, these other free throws that came into play were, one thing I did leave out too, were all the fouls at the end of the game where they were trying to lengthen the game clock. I mean, at the end of the quarter, they fouled Anthony Davis like 4 times in a row. That was 8 of the free throws right there. Then you're talking about a flagrant foul. That's 2 of the free throws right there. So, I mean, you're already into a bonus situation. There's going to be foul calling. The other fouls are just normal fouls over the course of a quarter. So if you're intentionally fouling, trying to put somebody to the line to prolong the game so you could have a shot at winning, which did almost work in your favor as far as, you know, them hitting the 3, shooter hit the big 3 off the glass. You know, that worked in their favor as well. With the free throws, because they hit a 3, and then ultimately they hit a 3 at the end, but the Lakers were up by 4. Good thing that they hit their free throws, because if they didn't, then they could have been looking at an overtime situation. Now, I can understand the coach being mad when you look at it from a numbers perspective and you look at this team constantly going to the free throw line. I will say that maybe Anthony Davis embellished on a call, the offensive foul call that was called. I can't remember who it was on exactly, but AD was setting the screen. It might have been on Pascal Siakam, if I'm not mistaken. But, man, got to give shouts out to the Toronto Raptors, who I think been playing excellent basketball since the Anunoby trade and them acquiring RJ Barrett. Because if you take a look at Toronto on yesterday, RJ Barrett, Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, quickly, the whole starting lineup, if you just take a look at what they were doing as far as their points, you know, they all were in double digits. And if you really look at it, RJ Barrett had 23, Siakam 25, Thaddeus Young had 10, Scotty Barnes had 26, and Emmanuel quickly had 21. So you're talking about the entire starting lineup that was in the double digits as far as them scoring, which is quite impressive. RJ Barrett had a hell of a game. Pascal Siakam hit big shot after big shot. Even off the bench, Gary Trent Jr. got it going in the fourth quarter. I think he hit maybe 3 threes in that fourth quarter to make it a close game in the first place. But just as the game was getting close and you thought the Lakers were about to go back to the losing ways of what they were doing in those past 12 games where they had been struggling, none other than LeBron James steps up and hits a really big 3-pointer to tie the game. I think it was at 108 at that time, when it looked like Toronto had built like a 6 or 7 point lead, and that the Lakers might start giving up some points and letting them go on a run. So shouts out to Anthony Davis just for, you know, on the defensive end. I mean, and this coach talking about foul, Anthony Davis, it was a block party. So when your boy Scotty Barnes, who you say could be the face of this league, I think you're taking that a little bit too far. First of all, Scotty Barnes is an amazing player. I think LeBron James has given him plenty of props over the course of his young career. And he is going to be a good player, but face of the league player, maybe not. An all-star, yes. All NBA player, potentially. But face of the league, I think that's a stretch. But at the end of the day, you're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers team that has a LeBron James and an Anthony Davis, who are more so faces of the league than, of course, a Scotty Barnes or a Pascal Siakam. Not saying that they deserve the foul calls, but I'm just saying the nature of the game. The Lakers were being a lot more physical than they were. And I have to give out mad shouts out to Cam Reddish, who I've been saying as of recently, if you listen to last show, I said that I feel like Max Christie could take Cam Reddish's spot in that starting lineup, because I believe in Max Christie's ability to shoot the ball, even though I feel like especially the three-point shot, even though I feel like Cam Reddish is a better defender and Cam Reddish plays great defense. But it was Max Christie who came in for him late in the game because Cam Reddish got his mouth busted wide open on that play that I was talking about, the flagrant foul that maybe couldn't have been flagrant. I think it was a basketball move, but you have to be careful when you're going up high like that. The defender has a right to his space as well, and I think ultimately that's why it was called that way. But at the end of the day, Cam Reddish, he must have heard me talking about him. Great game for him. He was actually 4 out of 7, and all of those shots were made threes. So really 4 out of 6 from the three-point land, which is 66%, which is a great job. If he can keep that going and build up his confidence, then he could be solidified in that Lakers starting lineup. I personally like what they're doing. Let LeBron play point. Let Austin Reeves play 2. That's fine by me. And that's what I'm going to get into that DAngelo Russell video that I'm going to have for you coming up here shortly. Because like LeBron James alluded to and what I said earlier in the show is LeBron can play point guard and play facilitator. And if you look at Anthony Davis's points, out of those 41 points, 13 of them came from the free throw line. So you're talking about 28 points. Out of those 28 points, LeBron James probably assisted on probably 20 of them. He got Anthony Davis so many good dunks last night. And like I keep saying, and I've been saying before, the Anthony Davis, LeBron James pick and roll is 1,000 times better than a D'Lo Anthony Davis pick and roll. So if you don't really need him to facilitate and do that, and you have a team that can give you length and defense, that is a team that can win championships. And that is a team that went on the championship run last year, even though D'Lo was a part of that. But if you go back and look at it, well, I'm not going to get into it. We'll talk about that. That way you can just join me in the next show and we can talk about that. But shouts out to Christian Wood, too. Christian Wood, 24 minutes on yesterday, 5 out of 10 from field goal range, 2 out of 4 from 3. He's been shooting lights out from 3 as of late. Christian Woods was a +3 on yesterday, so you got to give shouts out to Christian Wood. I think he was 2 out of 2 from the free throw line, so you can count on him there. And then have to talk about Max Christie, like I said, coming in the later minutes of the game for Cam Reddish after he got his chops busted. Max Christie came in. He was 2 for 2, 1 from 3, 100% from 3, had 6 points. He was a +5 on the floor. And even though, I haven't been big on D'Lo actually played a decent game, a bounce back game, because the last game he was like 4 out of 17. But on yesterday, he was 4 out of 8 for 50% and was actual +7 on the floor and had 5 assists. So he actually played a pretty good game. But like I said, join me in the following video. We're going to talk about that. So, the Lakers have improved to, I think, 19-19 and now are, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Lakers are now 10th maybe in the standings. Let me pull that up really quickly just to see, because, that's something that I want to focus on as far as just the standings are concerned, because the West is very deep. And if you look at it, Minnesota's still hanging in there at number 1. Seems like they might be going on the skid because they haven't been playing really great basketball as well. I think a lot of this is up for grabs. Even though the Lakers are in 10th, they are only, 3.5 games out of being where the Pelicans are in 6th. And that's just where the Lakers were. And they traded places with them. And I think the Lakers are going to bounce back. They beat the fourth seed Clippers just a couple of days ago. And it shows you what they can do when they play with energy and effort, so the Lakers can do that. And Dallas, they kind of look like they haven't been playing great as of late. They're dropping back. The Lakers are right in shouting distance of Phoenix, Houston, and Dallas. The Lakers do not want to be in the play-in tournament this year, and I still predict that they can have a top 4 finish. They just can't let it get too far beyond them. They're only 6 games out of being in 4th. It is possible. I don't think teams like the Denver Nuggets and Clippers are going to fall off. I think Sacramento King will try to move into that 4th seed as well. But at the end of the day, I wonder how long the Minnesota Timberwolves and Oklahoma City Thunder can continue to hold on to those top 2 seeds. That's something we'll continue to talk about as the season progresses. But if you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Most importantly, hit that bell so you can be notified when the videos drop. And like I said, join me for the next video I'm going to have posted as of today. We're going to do a 2-for-1 for today. And the Lakers had a night off, of course. And I think the Lakers on Friday shall be taking on, who the Lakers have on Friday? Let's see. Well, my internet tripping, y'all. Y'all know how that is. But we'll talk about it, whoever it is. We have a preview of that in tomorrow's show. So like I said, man, if you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and keep sharing. And as always, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.